buy them. But in this case, when aging, sickness and death come rolling in, all that wealth is useless. Yeah. As aging and death are rolling in on me, Venerable Sir, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds? And the Buddha said, so it is, great king, so it is, great king. As aging and death are rolling in on you, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds? This is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the Fortunate One, the teacher, further said, just as mountains of solid rock, massive, reaching to the sky, might draw together from all sides, crushing all in the four quarters, so aging and death come, rolling over living beings, Katyas, Brahmins, Vesas, Sudras, Chandalas and scavengers. They spare none along the way, but come crushing everything. There is no ground there for elephant troops, for chariot troops and infantry. One cannot defeat them by subterfuge or buy them off by means of wealth. Therefore, a person of wisdom here, out of regard for his own good, steadfast, should settle faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. When one conducts oneself by Dhamma, with body, speech and mind, they praise one here in the present life, and after death one rejoices in heaven. That's the end of the sutta. No? So here the Buddha is saying, every one of us will be crushed by aging, sickness and death. They are coming in from the four directions. So there's nothing for us to do except to live by the Dhamma and do good deeds, not to harm others, and to learn the Dhamma, meditate, etc. And get as much merit as we can, so that when we close our eyes, we can carry along all this merit on our long journey in samsara. In fact, if you are smart, your journey in samsara will be very short. Any question? I'm quite happy because last night and tonight I finished 2 Samyuttas. Because some of the later Samyuttas are very tough going, like Satipatthana Samyutta, the 5 aggregates Samyutta, they are extremely long. It take many nights. Every Samyutta I hope to cover. Yes, but this is the complete Samyutta Nikaya. I like to go through everything if possible. If you state a fact, it's not bad karma. What is important is the intention. If somebody asks you and you state a fact, it's not bad karma. But if you you are doing what you call rumor mongering, talking bad to so many people about a certain monk, that is bad. So basically, what the intention is important. But as far as the merit of giving to monks, in the suttas the Buddha said that the highest merit is to give to the Sangha as a whole. If your intention is to support the Sangha, not a particular monk, that is the best merit. So it doesn't matter so much whether the monks practice or not. If your intention is to support. But of course, like if there are many monasteries, then you can choose which monastery you want to go. Sometimes some people say, oh, because the Sangha means 4 monks or more, so they think when they do dana, you must have 4 monks or more, that is Sangha dana. I don't think it's quite true. In fact, it cannot be true. Why? Because in the Vinaya books, the Buddha says, if a gift is given to the Sangha, say somebody offers 20 robes, and he says, this 20 robes is for the monk Sangha and the nun Sangha, that means the Bhikkhu Sangha and the Bhikkhuni Sangha. Then the Buddha says, these 20 robes should be equally divided. That means 10 for the Bhikkhu Sangha, the monk Sangha, and 10 for the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And it doesn't matter if you have 30 or 40 monks and you have 1 nun. Even you have 1 nun, 20 robes should go to her. Because it is not actually to her, it is for the Bhikkhuni Sangha. So if she is alone, she cannot use 20 robes, it doesn't matter, because it's for the future Bhikkhunis who come. So that 1 nun can represent the entire Bhikkhuni Sangha. So sometimes if a monastery has only 1 monk, and you offer for the sake of the Sangha, even though there's 1 monk, it still represents the Sangha, because whatever offerings he receives, he's going to keep it for the future monks who come. So a lot of people don't understand, they must have 4 monks. Yes, it applies because the merit. But then, as I mentioned, the important thing is don't worry about that, whether the monk is virtuous or not. Just give for the sake of the Sangha. There are some people I've come across who are so greedy for merit that they only go after famous monks. I don't think so, because if certain monks or nuns are not good, then if you associate with them, either you get turned off and you might do something which is unwholesome. So it's best, if you can, to avoid them. You see, in the Vinaya books, initially the Buddha did not state what is the minimum age for novice monks. So there was a time when very young boys came to the monastery. So in the middle of the night, because there was no dinner, they started crying because they were hungry. So after that, the Buddha said they should be at least 15 years old before they are allowed to become novice. Otherwise, they cannot stand the hardship of a monk's life. And so generally, the standard is at least 15 years old. But there are always exceptions, because in the like Therigata, sometimes you find certain boys, like the Buddha could see that this person, even this young boy, 7 years old, but he is destined for enlightenment. So it's mentioned in the Theragata that such boys, their hair is shaved in the morning, and they are given the robe to wear. By the evening, they already became enlightened. These are super breed of humans. So unless you have such exceptional cases, generally it is not advisable to accept those below 15 years. In fact, a few years ago, some parents wanted their children to become novice here, so we accepted them. Then there were 4. One was 16, one was 15, one was 13, and one was 12. And the 12 and the 13, they being quite young, they were childish, and at night they opened the fridge and stole some dark chocolate to eat. So after that, we decided that minimum age here we will accept is 15. Can we transfer merit now?